And we are live.
Yay!
Yay. Hello,
So,
everybody.
yeah, hello and welcome. I have things dinging on my computer. To Undefining You. And there's actually, I have in creation a whole podcast where there's going to be weekly things posted about Undefining You. And just kind of a general of what that actually means is when we come into the world from the time we're born, from the very first baby entering the world, everybody wants to measure us, label us, like give us definitions, you know, how long you are, and that
Yeah.
puts you in the top 20 percentile of babies. I mean, what the actual fork, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Then they're like, you're going to be this height probably when you get that age because you're
Yeah,
this now.
yeah. And then the measurements of, how much you're supposed to eat and when you're supposed to eat what and when you're supposed to crawl and when you're supposed to do all the things. And there's all from day one, these standards that other people have decided that they compare you and measure you to, and then tell you how you are or are not fitting in and how well you are or are not doing. And our whole life gets based on the point of view of what somebody else says is how it should be. And then, we get older, and then it's the whole thing of the definitions of, are you a shy kid? Are you an outgoing kid? Are you, just labels and definitions are how this world seems to function, which are all based on judgments. And undefining you, it's not redefining you. It's not, oh, I'm this, so let's redefine me as this. Undefined is like letting go of absolutely every single thing you have decided about yourself. No more judgments, no more points of view, no more locking into any kind of a definition of you. It's literally setting you free to choose to be whatever energy you would like to choose in any moment, and let go of that one. The next one, choose another energy, and then choose another one, and then choose another one. Never, ever defining you as anything. So that is what Undefining You is about.
Ooh.
And yeah, I'm excited.
I would be like, hallelujah.
Right? And looking at that in particular with all kinds of topics. So we just recorded, actually, little sneak peek. We recorded 3 podcasts today, so they'll be coming out over the next couple of weeks. But we looked at undefining mental health. So what's a nervous breakdown? What does mentally ill mean? We've got all, again, labels, definitions. We put them on people, and then we use that as an excuse to separate from them. Well, they're mentally ill, so I don't have to engage. I can go over here. Or the labels put on us of, you had a mental breakdown, and then you go, oh, what's wrong with me? I had a mental breakdown. If you took away the definitions, what would actually be true? What would you discover? And we looked at Alan Jones. If you know my friend Alan, we recorded one today on undefining beauty and sexiness, which was an awesome conversation. Mm-hmm. Brett in Georgia, undefining humor. So there's all kinds of things that we're going to look at undefining, because every definition is a limitation. And if we had no definitions, perhaps we'd be unstoppable. So today I wanted to talk about undefining you with regards to parenting, or undefining parenting.
Which I love that, because right in the beginning, that is one of the first labels that we'll get. Like how I know I even did it when the baby comes out and you're like, oh, she looks just like you, honey. Like
first thing,
she's got your nose, she has look at these feet. And it's so interesting how then we'll see people that we know, their kids, they're like, oh, who does she look like? Who's this? And so that's right from the beginning, a big label that we get.
It is a big label.
Parents.
Yeah. And then as parents, I mean, how much expectation is there for you to absolutely get this thing right? Parenting is like top of the list of what you must get right. I mean, maybe we okay with career, maybe okay with relationships, maybe we're not rock stars with money, but parenting, you better get that one 100% right. So how many definitions do you have of what it means to be a good parent? And how much do you judge yourself when you don't get that you're meeting your own standards of those definitions? And how miserable is that? And how many definitions and standards do we have for our kids too? What it means for them to be well-behaved, what it means for them to do good and not do bad, and, to get good grades, and to eat the right foods, and to pick the right friends, and to go to the right schools. And it just, the to-dos and the expectations and the judgment of how this thing is supposed to look is so just like heaved on us.
Yeah.
And it's so,
That's a
and
lot.
then you wonder why nobody really enjoys being a parent, because
and then you got your parents. I didn't realize the dynamic, because like we're talking about parents and you're talking about kids, your kids looking at you, but then you have parents. Like, are you a good daughter?
right.
Or are you, like all of those, are you spending enough time with your parents? And then, wow, there's just so many.
There are so many. How much time am I supposed to spend with my kids? I really hate playing with Legos, but they like to play with Legos. So if I was a good mom, I'd play with Legos, or it goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
And
it is hard not being a good parent. Like I was, we got carpet today, so I'm cleaning out underneath my bed, and I found my daughter's 21, this book that she wrote. It looked like maybe in first grade, and it was a Mother's Day book. And it says, you open it up, and I was like, yay, I'm all excited to read this Mother's Day book. And it says, my mom likes to complain. My mom likes to complain she's too fat. And then so she runs every day. The next page was like, my mom complains that we're unhealthy. She does not let us eat chocolate. And I was like, and then it was so cute. The last one was, my mom likes to wear pink eyeshadow, so she looks like a dead mummy. I just said to my daughter, I'm like, wow, this is the funniest Mother's Day book ever.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, my mom likes to complain.
So what was it? Just funny to you, or were you like?
Well, I actually did look at it for a moment, because it was like that Rolodex in my head. I was like, did I come? And I'm thinking, I let you guys eat whatever you wanted. And I'm like, did I complain? But so it was interesting looking at it. And then I did laugh, because I was like, what? This is hilarious.
Right? Yeah. But how cool that you could laugh at it, because if you were holding yourself in, having to get it 100%, it might not be so easy to laugh at it. And I love, that's actually an awesome tool, is to be able to laugh at yourself and not take yourself so seriously with all the things. It's like when we have definitions of the good mother, then we stop being who we are when we show up as the mother. So it's like I can go, maybe, if I go to work and I'm fine being me at work, or I hang out with friends, I'm fine being me with friends. And then, now I am putting on my good mother hat. So now I must become this definition I have of what a good mother is. And it never works, because you cut off you to take on the role that someone else told you should be your role. And so if you didn't actually have any definitions of what it meant to be a mother, you gave birth to the kid. That's a fact. From there, what if there's actually no right, wrong way to do things? And if you gave yourself permission to get it wrong, instead of trying to get it right, and you just showed up as you, how much more fun would being a parent be? I know I say mother, I'm not excluding the fathers, I'm just talking as my own self, but as a parent, how much more fun would it be? And how much more ease would you have? And then how much more ease would your kids have?
Yeah. Wow. And then how much do we still function? I was just talking about this today. I did an interview with somebody else, and they were talking about how they're judging themselves for being selfish. And then I look back to when I was very, very young. I remember my mom's friends saying, she's a horrible child. She's so spoiled. She's a spoiled brat. And what ended up taking place is since I got that label, I then would go over and beyond to not be that. So I would I would say kill myself almost, not necessarily, but it's the idea of then I would have to be super kind to prove that I wasn't this spoiled, horrible kid. And then I made being spoiled wrong. And so, and here I am, 29, and just now realizing it. All right, maybe 50, but with these things like you're doing here now, and just talking about these undefining, maybe I would have, could have been a spoiled brat if it required that energy at the moment, but I made it so wrong.
Well, and maybe it was you were willing to have whatever you desired to have, and maybe that's creation and brilliance, not wrongness.
Well, and then isn't that funny? Because how many people that if they won't choose it, they make you wrong for choosing it. How many people, even at that age, my mother's friends were wanted to be spoiled, wanted to have it all, wanted to have people wait on you.
Yes. Yeah.
And then they're then they're like, you're horrible because you're asking for that when I really want it.
Yeah. Yeah. And people judge you for what they themselves will not choose, what they themselves will not create. Yeah. Yeah. I was called Little Miss High and Mighty all the time. Little Miss High and Mighty. And then it was actually Gary Douglas, founder of Access Consciousness. If you're not familiar with who that is, I was taking a class and I said something about that. And he goes, yeah, well, you are. What's wrong with that? And that's like, what? Everything's wrong with that. I mean, I shouldn't be like Little Miss High and Mighty, that what I say goes and what I tell everyone they should just do. And, I shouldn't do that. I had so many judgments of that. And when I went, oh, and this is exactly, thank you for bringing this topic up, because that's what undefining is. Yeah. Somebody sticks a label, and maybe there's actually a truth to, yeah, sometimes I am Little Miss High and Mighty. Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
And then here I'm like, I would like that. I would like people to wait on me. I would like it, people to jump and can you bring me some tea?
Yeah. I would like to be the queen who gets whatever she asks for.
Here I'm asking for it. And then I actually was it. And then I'm like, oh, can I have that? And I've decided, that I can't be that because it was so wrong. But then I'm like, can I have that now, please?
Yeah. Interesting. Because it's never the energy of the thing that's wrong or bad. We stick ourselves when we attach a wrongness to it, or we judge it as something that we shouldn't choose, or that it's an inferior choice than something else. Then we stick it. It's not the energy. It's not.
I was gonna say, you said that again. That's say that again. It's not the energy.
Yeah, the energy is never. The energy is just energy. It's not a wrong or a right energy. But when we and choice, not wrong, not right. But when we take an energy or we take a choice, and then we decide it, we judge the thing, the energy or the thing, that's when we stick a label. That's when we judge ourselves. That's when we diminish ourselves. That's when we're no longer free. That's when we're no longer being who we are. Yeah.
I would like to be free. I'm choosing free.
Me too. Yeah. So how much more can we, and just to notice, that it's not just, I wish there was a magic wand and boom, now you're totally undefined and you have no more judgment of you. It's a bit of a process, but when you're willing to notice when you are going to the wrongness of you, when you're judging a choice you made, when you're judging an energy you've chosen to be, whatever it is, and just go, what's right about me that I'm not getting? And if this wasn't wrong, what would I know? So coming out of the wrongness, and interesting point of view about everything. And what does that mean? That means, as a parent, example, I had to finish everything on my plate. Eat liver and onions, worst thing in the world.
I sat there one time for 5 hours, I swear. 10 gallons of water because I could not leave until I ate the liver.
Ketchup on the liver. There wasn't enough ketchup.
Were our parents friends? Jeez.
I don't know. Or I'm from the Midwest. Where are you from?
I was from the Midwest. Who makes their kids eat liver?
Right? Gross.
Because it's so good for you.
Yeah, but so then having kids and just noticing the autopilot of, well, you should and going, wait a minute, said who and why are they right? So when you notice that point of view, they'll go, interesting point of view. I have that point of view. And it's so interesting. 99.9% of the times when I do that, never was my point of view. It was an impelled point of view that I didn't know I had any other choice, and I never asked any questions.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
And this has been so jam-packed, and this was just parenting. I can't wait.
Yeah. Yes. I'm excited too. Very excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for listening. And the podcast is not live yet, but you will find it on Facebook and other places when it does go live. So
well, how can they find you? At your website?
MarnieBarranco.com or undefiningyou.com. Both will take you to the same place. So
awesome.
Check it out. And thanks, Becky. And thanks for listening.
Okay. We'll see you next week.
See you next week, more Undefining You. Yes.
This is fun. We're coming back for more.
What's that?
This is fast, fun, and full of potency. Love it. Okay.
That's how we roll.
Awesome. Boom.